Hello, my name is Adam, and I'm going to introduce you to the game of Tafl. Uh, I'm going to go into the history at a later time. Right now, I'm just going to discuss the rules of the game, then the strategy. Also, look at some sample games and compare different versions of the game. Also, going to get into openings and the end game. And right now, actually, before I start, I'm making this video for one reason and one reason only. That's because I play a lot online, and there's so much misinformation on the internet because of this one article, and people assume it's correct, and I mean you can only take it at its face value. So it sounds well written, but unfortunately, with all due respect to the writer, Sten Helmfrid, this article is incorrect. What this article was written for was to give a history of the game, but also stated that all the research done up to the point that this article was written, and all the documentation of the rules, saying that it makes for an unplayable game. And so he proposes some new rules that everybody now wants to play by, and unfortunately it makes for an inferior game, and I'm going to show the reasons why. And so the purpose of this video series is to show you that this article is wrong. It's called Tablut, the strategic board game of the Vikings. So I want you to keep these things in mind as you watch the videos. This is the second article. After this I'm going to get into the rules and get into it, but this needs to be said. I need more people to believe what I'm saying about this, and hopefully you'll see it as evidence yourself. This article took people who had never played the game before, showed them the rules quickly, and then had them play each other, and then documented whether one side won more than the other. Well, one side did win more than the other, but that's because the way the beginning strategy of the game beginners have is that they think they want to capture pieces. And so, but in this game, unlike chess and checkers, the more pieces you capture, the more easier it is for one side to achieve their goal. The different sides have different goals, and so the one side you're helping, you don't think you're helping them, but you are helping them by playing a certain way. One side's going to win all the time. So we're going to take care of that right now, and teach you that how to properly play the game to where that doesn't happen, and you can actually make an enjoyable game out of the correct rules. Basically, the last point here I made is this evidence that this article came up with. It does not merit changing the game to suit a beginner's weakness, and that's what it did. And I think that's a really good point. You don't want to base the rules around people who don't understand the game. So this version right here, this is called Tablut. The main set of games where there's different number of pieces and different squares on the board, they're all a part of the group of games called Tafl. And this game is 9 squares by 9 squares, and it has 8 pieces and the king on one side and 16 pieces on the other side. This is called Tablut, and there are 3 types of pieces. There is the king piece right here, and only one side has him. It's the light colored pieces here. I'm going to call these white, even though they're blue. Because most of the time on online play, these are going to be white. But this manufactured decided to make it blue, which I thought was really cool. But I'll just go ahead and call them white. And so this side does not have the king, only this side. So there's the king, that's one piece. The second piece is the king's men. I call these pawns. And then you have the third piece, which is the black pawn. And so now we're going to go over rules. There's really, all the rules of the game can kind of be condensed down to 6, basically. The first rule is how the pieces move. And the pieces move like rooks in chess, is the term you'll hear. And that's where, let's say it's this piece here, he's going to move, he can move all the way to there, he can move from here to here, or he can move from here to here, and I think you get it. And then this one can move this either this way, or this one can move this way. And they call that orthogonal movement. And as long as the path is unimpeded, he can move as far, so he's impeded here, so he has to stop there. But if this piece wasn't here, he can move the whole length up until he reaches that piece there. Okay. And you can't jump. That's the other thing. So if he's here, he can't jump on the next move or something like that. That's not allowed. And also there's no diagonal movement. So if he's here, he cannot go this way. He has to just move like a rook. Okay, the second rule is all about how to win the game. And the king side wins whenever the king reaches any square on the periphery of the board. So when he's here, right now in this position, he can move there and win. Here he can move there and win. And the king side loses and black wins if the king is surrounded on all four points of the compass. These are the cardinal points, just like this. So now the king has lost the game. It can't just be three, it has to be all four. And it can't be diagonal. So if these were just on the four diagonal around the king, that's not captured at all, because you can this way. And the last thing about that is the king can lose one other way, and that's if he's next to this square is called the throne. And if he's surrounded on three sides and the throne, he can't move back onto the throne. We'll go over that rule later. But these also captured there. So that's how both sides win the game. Then the third rule that I wanted to discuss is how to capture the pieces. And you capture the pieces by what's called custodial capture, and that means that it takes two pieces to capture one. And let's say this guy moves down here, and then black moves, and then this next guy comes here. So this guy is gone. He's captured because he was captured orthogonally, like that. They also call that sandwiching. And it cannot be diagonal capture, of course, again, like that. Like that is not captured. Okay. The other thing about capturing is the king should not be allowed to capture. So he cannot take part in capture. So if you had this here, this was here, and the king comes up here, this is not a capture.